To the latest Magic the Gathering Arena deck guide. Are you sick and tired of all of the aggro and control decks within Magic the Gathering Arena Standard Best of One? Well, me too. So today we have an anti-meta deck to check out. This is an Azorius tempo build, combining both sides of darkness, both control and aggro, fusing them into a beloved tempo deck that we cannot get enough of. We have a 100% win rate climbing into like the top 1400 Mythic, which is absolutely incredible. So I'm very excited to break down the deck list for you all within today's video, discussing the strategies and synergies held within, demonstrating this against the best decks and players in the world. Of course, we'll wrap up with our final thoughts, deck review, and channel news. So buckle up, get ready. I hope you're as excited as I am. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. You can also support by joining our YouTube channel. Become a member, challenge me every single Sunday on our YouTube Live to 1v1, bro. We can also help fine-tune your decks and really do anything. That's going to be at 2 p.m. every single Sunday for our YouTube members live on YouTube. And you can also join our community Discord. That one's free, and you can badger me 24 hours out of the day. So super exciting stuff. Let's take a look at the deck. Anti-control in the house today. And you know what? So I received a lot of messages and comments recently. Best of One is just all control decks. I can't handle it. What do I do? So, well, we're going to tax them today. We have, all of the anti-control elements that we'd possibly could fit into a deck here, while trying to apply enough pressure to really limit them from setting up. Because, the one way to beat a control deck is, well, with another control deck. And we did try to avoid that here today. Another way to do so is just with your aggro deck and go faster than them. They do have a little bit of an advantage because they know you're doing that, and it's easy for them just to box you out. However, we are able to, like I said at the start of the video, combine a few different elements here throughout both aggro and control. And, it works out in our favor against both aggro and control. So we're in a, we've got the high ground, Anakin. Don't even try it. And it all starts out with Skrelv Defector Mite for 1 mana, a 1/1 with Toxic 1. It cannot block, and it can pay 1 Phyrexian white, whether that's a white source or 2 life. To tap it, choosing a color, another target creature is going to gain Toxic 1 and Hexproof from that color until the end of turn, and it cannot be blocked by creatures of that color. So, both sides of the fence here. Again, this creature is fantastic. Stopping our opponent's single target removal, beautiful, while simultaneously allowing our attackers to have evasion getting through their defenders. It's all there. We have the Guardian of New Benalia here for 2 mana. 2 copies of this in the deck, a 2/2 with enlist, and when it enlists, scry 2. So when it attacks, it can enlist another creature, adding its power to its own, tapping that creature, and, like we see, getting that scry 2. Furthermore, we can discard a card, giving the Guardian indestructible until the end of turn, and we will also have to tap it. Very easy for us just to toss a card from our hand, giving the Guardian indestructible. A creature in our hand that gets tossed, if played in lieu of, would now have Summoning Sickness, where the Guardian is not going to. So sometimes it is worth that. The Sungold Sentinel for 2 as a 3/2 for 2 copies in the deck. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile target card from a graveyard. This is going to be how we control the graveyard from the Reanimator decks. Can also take things like Memory Deluge, which we hate to see recast, right? Good value for them. Anything with a recursive ability that they will be utilizing from their grave, get it out of there. Primarily, Atraxa, just don't even let it sit there one single turn. Very nice, while still applying good pressure through that 3/2. Furthermore, we have Coven for 2, allowing us to choose a color. The Sentinel is going to gain Hexproof from that color until the end of turn, and it cannot be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. Activate only if we have 3 creatures with different powers. Not too hard to accomplish here for us within the deck. 4 copies of Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. 2 mana, 2/1, first strike, non-creature will cost 1 more to cast. This is going to shut down, at control decks left and right. And that first strike is actually pretty cool against aggro decks as well, right? It's going to, mitigate what available attackers that they can send your way. One of my favorite combinations with Thalia will be the Malevolent Hermit for 2 mana, a 2-power 1 toughness that can pay 1 blue source to self-sacrifice, countering target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 3. So this is a creature-based counter spell that is not taxed by our own Thalia. Yes! Furthermore, we can discard it if so choosing with the Guardian of New Benalia, immediately unlocking the Benevolent Geist. Now that is castable via the Disturb for 3 from the grave. It's a 2/2 with flying, and non-creature spells you cast cannot be countered. When it dies, it goes to exile. Moving on, we will have the Spectral Adversary. 2 mana here as a 2/1 with flash and flying, 4 copies of it within the build. When it enters the battlefield, we may pay 2 any number of times, putting that many +1/+1 counters on the Spectral, as well as phasing out that many target artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. So I absolutely love this. If we don't have the Hermit in play to counter a Farewell, to counter a Sunwell, we can actually phase out our own creatures, which is really nice. And, on the both sides of the fence, as a tempo deck we do like to play, it can also phase out your opponent's blockers, allowing your damage output to go through consistently, which is really good. More taxation through the Anointed Peacekeeper for 3, 4 copies of this in the build as a 3/3 with Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, look at your opponent's hand, which again is great value because you know what you're dealing with for the next few turns. Furthermore, you'll get to choose a card within their hand. They have to pay an additional 2 to cast that spell, which is kind of crazy, as well as, if it's an activated ability as well. So the third path is here. 2 copies of it in deck as a legendary 2/1 for 3 mana with Vigilance, and when it enters the battlefield, you're going to destroy target artifact or enchantment. We can tap it to have our opponent and ourselves draw a card. Kind of risky biscuits, but sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's clutch. And remember that we can engineer our draw with the Guardian's Enlist ability. We'll have the Overcharged Amalgam for 4 mana, 2 copies of this as a 3/3 with flash, flying, and exploit. So when exploit creatures enter the battlefield, they can sacrifice a creature to have this ability trigger. Whenever the Overcharged Amalgam exploits a creature, counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. So really everything. It can, if needed, self-sacrifice as well. So it's like a 4 mana counterspell that's not taxed by Thalia, which would make their 3 mana counterspell equal to your own. Plus, if you want, you can just keep the 3/3 as a body for fun, sacrifice a different creature. That's easy to accomplish. Really good value. I think this card should see more play, to be honest. We have the Wandering Emperor here. 4 mana with flash, 3 starting loyalty with a Planeswalker, activating those loyalty abilities at instant speed the turn it enters the battlefield. So, sometimes we're forced to play it because they're going to make us discard it. We can put it into play and then not activate those abilities until we typically would, or it's going to be interacted with. So, that's a little bit of a mistake sometimes people make. +1, putting a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It's going to gain first strike until the end of turn, keeps that +1 counter. -1, creating a 2/2 with Vigilance, and -2, exiling tapped target creature, gaining 2 life, which is absolutely phenomenal. Back to our 2 drops within the Evasion of Gobakon. 3 protection counters within this Battle Siege. When it enters the battlefield, look at their hand, and then exile a non-land card from it, and then it's going to remain in exile, and they can pay 2 mana in addition to its regular cost to pay it. And then if we flip the invasion, we receive the Light Shield Array, an enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that's attacked this turn. Plus, we can sacrifice the array to give our creatures indestructible and hexproof until the end of turn, helping us survive some of those destroy-based field wipes, or just even single target interaction. 2 copies of Fading Hope. Instant speed for 1, returning target creature to its owner's hand. If its mana value was 3 or less, scry 1. A little bit of tempo. Again, we can protect our own creatures with this, as well as offsetting our opponent's mana value. The Surge of Salvation, 3 copies of this in the build as 1 mana at instant speed. You and permanents you control gain hexproof until the end of turn. Okie dokie. Prevent all damage that would be dealt by black and red sources as well this turn, which is an added bonus considering, you know, that they're everywhere. And with that being said, that's the entirety of the deck. We have a Seed of the Empire, 4 damage to attacking or blocking. Soaring City can help bounce. Enchantments, Planeswalker, creature, or artifact. And then the Wastes, Beach, and Coast for land drop consistency. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Thanks for watching the deck tech of the video. I appreciate each and every one of you who spend time out of your day here with me. Thanks again. Like, comment, subscribe, become a YouTube member, join that community Discord, and of course, kick back, enjoy today's gameplay footage. We do go with a 100% win rate, 5-0 in Mythic, climbing up the ranks. I built this as an anti-control deck, but you know, Murphy's Law, Karma, they out there. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just the Arena client in general, but we faced 5 aggro decks in a row. Mono red, mono white, relentless. So I know you guys said you can't match up against anything but control decks. Maybe try this deck and then you'll see some aggro deck matchups. And you know what? What's the coolest thing for me is I know that this is pretty good against control decks in testing within the play queue, but the fact that it slapped so hard against these Mythic ranked aggro decks is just like, yes, you're the one. Thanks. Enjoy. Let's go. Going first, almost a necessity, honestly, to beat the control deck. Give them a free turn. Oh my gosh. That is not good. We see that it is not a control deck. In fact, another aggro deck. Not that we're, you know, entirely an aggro deck, but close enough, certainly. Guardian of New Benalia is here. Really good in both situations, really. The Indestructible can dodge Destroy, and certainly does dodge damage-based interactions as well. Might just take it. No blocks. Let's take a look at their hand. Invasion, Kumano, Punisher. I guess we just name the Furnace. Or Invasion, because it can take our Mite. That's probably our better option here. Probably just attacking with the Mite. I can't block, and, you know, I can't see myself protecting the Peacekeeper. Then we have an Emperor next turn. Should be able to exile Beldon. Etching can be blocked with Guardian. We discard the Hermit. That's replayable from the grave with the Guardian, which is quite nice. We are currently at 16 life, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand. Rope is up. What do? Wait it out. This is a top 500 mono red player. It's no joke. It's mono red deck, but, you know, let's see you get top 500. I'm just kidding. I know you're way better than that. We all are, right? No, they're a very good player. So this is odd. It could be a connection issue, obviously. Let's pass our turn and hit with Vigilance. Expecting another rope. I typically don't see a top 500 player conceding prematurely. You know, that's one nice thing. Oh, they might actually be back. All right, let's end our turn. They are here, so it could have been a connection issue. We have to assume. Quanto in play. 1 damage to us to 15. Phoenix Chick now active.
Now you've done it. Hat's coming off. Remember your training.
We're going to give them draw 4. They already have a full hand, so, like, what does it matter? You know? I'm not too worried about that. And then we can actually exile the Phoenix Chick as well, so I think that's very nice. The -2 will leave us exposed to the invasion, however, let's keep in mind. Or we just keep plussing. I mean, I like the life gain. Let's tax the invasion.
You are not much of a roadblock.
And potentially we could have, I guess, instead of taxing it, just countered it as well. Good game. Going first as the gods demand. Turn 1 Mite, turn 2 Thalia, turn 3 Peacekeeper, unless enchantment deck. Of course, we will need to draw the 3rd land. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Mono red, mono red. I see you. 2 third paths. Only 2 of these in our deck. I think that would be a land. Okay. This isn't a bad exile if they're running the Bloodthirsty Adversary. And, you know, maybe we get lucky and can take the Phoenix Chick somehow. Blazing Crescendo is taxed, and we do see the Bloodthirsty here. Land is a go. Let's tax. Typing in Feldon, and then we're going to exile their grave, and they do not like that. Going first. Oh my gosh. Have I won the lottery today? I think we disclosed that we have a 1 mana instant seed spell there accidentally. And also here, my bad. You can't tell me what to do. Let's get in there with the Sentinel. You know, there's probably no turn 2 removal. Cathar on 3, sure. Initiate is a go, alongside the recruitment officer. Let's tax their Cathar. Or Adeline, whatever it happens to be. Plus we get added if it's not. So it's not just the taxation through the Anointed Peacekeeper here, but you also gain knowledge of their hand, which is quite valuable. At least worth 1 mana. Half a mana for sure. So that's quite a nice setback. And I will gladly, with a capital G, trade with their draw engine. Sign me up. You know, is there a VIP section I can get involved with? So keep in mind that this Seed of the Empire is active with 2 with the Mite. That is going to be crippling, but you just gotta have it. Oh, say it ain't so. And then this is still castable, but now for 3. And we can certainly hold on 1 turn, right? Or draw it out. Because that might be their 5th. Take the Mite. Honestly, if they cast that as a spell and not as a land, and then brick, could be worth the risk reward. Oh, they just want to trade 1 for 1. And again, I get the trade that I wanted last turn. Copper Coat active. And Gonjo is not active. We play our own Mite. It's a tasty double block for them, but I'd love to get that that dealt with before this hits. Offering up them a double block on the Peacekeeper if they want to take it. All right, Vanguard active. I do make the wrong blocks. Had a little bit of interaction there. My apologies. It's not like it's going to cost us the game or anything. Now we do see Adeline. There's not going to be an attack at least. All right. We double block the Vanguard, unfortunately. Because this is active for 2. It's a nice double trade for them. Right, they might just take the attack. I'm going to force the seed out. Really? That was actually, like, beneficial, I guess. No attack and turn. We can kick our adversary or overcharge. Manually tapping because the auto tapper hates us. And then phasing out their Cathar. They can attack with it. It's phased out. No token generation. Our turn. Maybe we just race. We should have attacked last turn. Watch us get within 2. We, of course, do have that surge for the land at this point. We have lethal in 2. Would have that 2 damage. So 2 little itty bitty misplays in this game. Let's flash in. I think we're taking that 4, right? Just block a token. Down to 12. I mean, that's not great. We need a defender. Which will be this. Otherwise, we're getting hit. Or let's say, worst case scenario, they top deck the Intrepid adversary. They have 7, 8 in hand. They can kick it 3 times, which would be 4, 8. Oh my god, yeah, we'd be super duper dead. We would be super duper dead even with the 1 defender. So, oh, this is risky biscuits. Hopefully we can pull it out here. We cannot. 4 life left. Remember that time we missed 2 damage? Good game though, partner. Looks like we do get the box out, and these surges are just sitting there perfectly for us. That was a risky match. A little bit of an awkward moment or two. But we pulled through, which is always great to see. Going first with a very awkward hand. Risk it for the mulligan, take our turn 2 taxation, and rely on draw. I think either way would be good here. I like this, you know, we've got good land. You know, both of our colors are represented. And at least there's a turn 2. And we build into a turn 4. Let's get the Guardian out, drop our Summoning Sickness, and it's also, you know, an indestructible blocker. Preferably to get a trade, but, you know, it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it's just about protecting your life total. Or not much we can do there. Ooh. 2 of them? Okay. So this is going to deal 1. They hit for an additional 2, 3 on the turn. Down to 16. Ooh. Well, that's actually quite handy here. We'll bounce the Phoenix on attack. Oh my god. Becky, look at that hand. They've got 2 of them. Well, let's pray they brick. We're defending. That's a juicy hand for them. All right, they're cycling for a land. It's like a 10 mana spell. Well, that's actually really good for them. Stacking up as they wait for their warfares. All right, we interrupt damage. Toss the Mite to the bottom. It's not. That's going to get dunked on by... Well, they tossed their festivities. I'm sure there's more, though. It's past turn. I mean, double Wandering Emperor is very good. So, you know, if we're lucky, there's a way out of this. They toss a secondary festivities. Phoenix check out. Oh. I like an emote or 2. Let's take that Phoenix chick permanently now. Also taking our turn. Playing the land and, well, making an additional blocker, I guess. Do they find their third land? Suffer mono red? No, I mean, they're going to get it eventually and be so powered up at that point that I'm just going to be in the danger zone. I think we save that. Let me have it. Really? Double block? Single block. I mean, it's respectable. Keeps me from my invasion. They don't overextend. Right? You don't want to get out ahead of your skis. I'm just going to play the Amalgam to flip the invasion. Do they have burn in hand? Oh, good for you. We draw it out, which is nice as well. And Hermit's pretty tasty. We want to go for it. I think we do. Double attack, baby. Let's go. That Warfare is not hitting. We're going to Hermit the heck out of it.
Run away. You'll be safer. Show them how we greet our enemies.
Okay. Oh, no, we don't have mana. That's the Emperor. I should count beforehand. They did throw out 2 festivities already. Now's their chance to get one in. We'll counter the second. They have 2 attackers. Our defenders are good. Right? We snag both their defenders. That's a good game. And the Wanderer Emperor remains in play. We take the invasion next turn. It's kind of satisfying to see mono red brick and be punished for it. But it's not like they couldn't do anything. There's plenty. They had like 4 or 5 things in play, so, you know. All right. Our opponent's going to go first. Turn 2 and turn 3 are here. Hello, good game. Surge of Salvation is just a phenomenal card against mono red. One of our favorites. We should probably save it. Use it now or save it? Save it. And then we'll get, you know, we'll get some value from it later. Or be punished for not using it now. That's what makes Magic so fun. Just, you know. I like the first strike. I like the taxation. Saving this for an artifact. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, for another 2. What you got over there, Willis? Oh, no. I'm gonna take that Bloodthirsty for sure. Another land. They get Bloodthirsty for 4. Impulse into a Chandra Epicure. Not bad. Oh, absolutely. Well. Because then they would Festivity us. Okay. Let's play our Guardian. Holding up our Surge. Now we can block and Surge while they think that they're going to hit with the Festivities on the back end. I hope, you know. Try to set them up for failure. It's the best we'll be able to do. So we take this damage. I think we have to for the trap to work. Right? Trap doesn't work if they know it's there. Interesting. They've not activated their Chandra yet, which was like, I guess, kind of a blessing for us. We block with the weaker of the creatures, so Feldon doesn't get access to as many to pick from. It does choose one to exile, and it's a Warfare. That's very good. We're going to need a secondary island right now. And they have played a land this turn, but they can make mana with Chandra. So that island needed to be in play already with a few other things. We still have the Bloodthirsty named. They're exiling?
This is a fun idea.
For a damage spell that doesn't work here. But I guess Chandra's +1 damage to make mana wouldn't have dealt damage, but still would have made the mana. And we're safe from Kumano's damage. Oh no, that hits. It's cheating. It's cheating. Island! And the Festivities is brutal against us. Right, kills the Path and Thalia really nicely.
You better not ruin my dress, buddy.
Well, we're just going to bait them with Thalia. Right, pushes this to 4. And the Festivity 5/6, which they can get. Guardian's going to have to grab Indestructible. We don't want to offer them too much value on their Festivities. And if we go in to kill the Kumano, which we will do, they would get, you know, a really, really nice wipe here. So just kind of holding back, trying to be a little bit more patient than we typically would. And they're there. Alright, so that is 2 damage, keep in mind. Chandra's going to deal another 2 to 7. We're in danger. Danger, danger. Yeah, toss your creature. Draw land. Legend. It's probably a great spell. Ooh. That is a better pick. That's a better choice. I wasn't even considering that at the moment. Wow, I'm glad we waited. One attack. I don't know what they're going to send our way.
Just when I was having a good time.
We're down to 7, so it's like not great. Woof. Okay. Can I bounce my path and kill the Warfare? Sure. Only if you're an absolute legend. Oh, I will. And then die to their land attacks as I top deck my own lands. We have great blocks. You know, super duper acceptable blocks here. Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's something. Yes. I like it. Defending with Guardian. These lands are still problematic. Right? Because they can push it to 4. Double block. Double block and discard. Depending on the block order, of course. And if they push it up or not, right? There's a couple things to go here. So they do push up. If that is a burn down the house, I'm going to cry. Or not a play with fire is what I meant to say. We get it? It's a land, okay. Ooh, what so's that? We keep it in hand to discard for indestructible. We're on thin ice. Uh-oh. Plus the land. Don't like this reality. This, of course, is an anti-control deck. You know, we actually have been faring really good against aggro decks today and finding a lot of them. Oh, that's great. Probably the Epicure to cycle a future land. Command was great value, but that land cycle could be like, when we're both top decking, that's like a free turn, you know, if you take the blood token. But this is just a good spell anyways. Was a good spell. Oh man, I just hate this. We need a Wandering Emperor. We really need a Wandering Emperor. Down to 5. Can we still enlist it? Because it has vigilance. Non-attacking, no. It needs to defend the land anyways. Dear Wandering Emperor, bless me with your life gain. And I don't want to use the third path to get, you know, let them draw either, right? Oh my god. They might have it. At any point, a lightning strike is lethal for them here. We're only hitting for 6. Nice. That could be enough. Really close match. And play with fire active for them. Lightning strike active for them. I believe we're dead. Land. Down to 1. Could this be any closer? We 100% need a Wandering Emperor off the top. So it wouldn't have been there. It would have given them the chance for lethal. If we enlist and then draw. We just need to find the Emperor in the enlist. This is going to be so freaking close, Randy. We're down to only 1 defender, which we have to tap. Luckily, we can declare the blocker and then Emperor after because it's flash card. It's a land. They could top deck a burn spell. And cast it on top of our Emperor. That's it, though. If they get a burn spell, that's great. If not, clutch. Burn spell could still do it, right? If it was a lightning strike or something. Or just play with fire here on the stack. So we do go to 3. They're at 5, and we have lethal. Just to be safe, I don't know. Now we can counter something.
Remember your training.
We should have actually pushed up Guardian. Well, no, because we would have had to tap it for Indestructible. Here's the block, that's fine. They get 1 more chance to top deck. It's a good block. We have first strike, so the, vigilance stays. So we do have the defender. Literally on the edge of my seat. There's one attacker. They could still straight up have lethal. Wow. That is a phenomenal game. Holy Toledo's. Greatest hits right here. That top deck Wanderer via the Enlist Bedalia. Oh! So this is the control deck. We love the list so far. I did consider a few other things. The Hex Catcher, much like the Hermit, can counter non-creature spells. Pay 3 instead of pay 1, but it's a flash creature, which is cool. Food for thought. The Hearse is a less aggressive version of the Sun Gold Sentinel, because we don't have to crew the Sentinel, nor can it gain protection and that evasive attack. Food for thought. Mage's Attendant, I like, kind of like the Hermit. It's a creature-based counterspell. It's 2 bodies, which is pretty decent, but only pay 1 and 3 mana. Food for thought. Just always add more Wandering Emperors. Sea Double, it's cute, but I'm not sure that this is actually going to shut down a control deck as much as we'd like, because they're probably not going to have a creature. Copying the Amalgam is probably the best thing that we could do, if not the Hermits. It really depends on what you need. The potential is there. Like, oh, you copy the Guardian of Benalia, that's good, or the Peacekeeper. There are options. The Overcharged Amalgam probably best, but, food for thought is something I considered. Just couldn't make it work. And then, if only this was not a black card, right? This should be blue and white. That would go perfectly in the deck. All my dreams would come true. So, that's what we're considering here. Jumping now into our deck stats, so you can see exactly how well the deck did perform. Anti-control, 1 version, 100% win rate, 5-0, 40 minutes of gameplay for you guys within today's video. Mono red, just get out of town. 4-0, that's hilarious. Some really good matches too, though, right? And then also being lucky enough to beat down the mono white deck. We were on the play many times. It's hard to say. I think we were on the play no, we were on the draw once, and that's important. We weren't on the play every single time, but that's really good odds, and that probably would obviously affect the deck's win rate. And as we play the deck, more people play the deck, they become aware of the deck list, and they can more effectively prioritize against your list, right? Because right now people are like, what is this? I don't, whoa, where's Adeline? I didn't, I'm trying to save my removal for her, but she's just not in here. I don't get it. Things like this, right? So you're one step ahead of them through the preconceived knowledge of your deck, right? Because we all know the meta decks, we all have our play lines mapped out, but you come out of left field with something original and it just totally, throws that stick into their gears, right? So I do hope that you enjoyed today's video. Of course, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, become a YouTube member, join our community Discord, and just have a magical day, okay? So we'll see you soon in the next. Take care.